everybody, I have for you a team talk with the top 10 worst outboards ever created. Do you believe that? Worst. And what I'm saying is the creation thing is, it's either like they didn't run good, they were poorly engineered, they flat out just sucked, or maybe I just hated them. Didn't like working on them, I hated the motor. So that's how we're doing it. So we want you to comment on this. If you've seen this, or if you've been part of this 80s, 90s, earlys, and you got one of these motors, comment down here. While you're just commenting, why don't you just hit that subscribe button for us. Why don't you do that? All right, are you ready for this? Are you all ready for this? Here we go. Drum roll, please. That guy sucks. That guy's fired. He sucks. Anyway, we don't have him no more, but we're back. Here we are. Are you ready? Top 10. We're gonna start. Are we starting with 10? We're starting with 1. You want me to start with 10? Number 10. Here we go. Are you ready? This is where the camera goes. Shoo, shoo, I'm back. Just like that. Boom. Number 10. You ready? Every motor that was built in COVID. Yep, COVID motors. We call them COVID motors. I don't know for a fact of what brand. I don't know, but I think everything that was built during COVID time is going to be a problem. If not this year, next year, maybe 5 years from now, you're going to have a lot of problems with it. It's just, and I'm not saying it's probably might not be the power head. It could be the outsourcing. We just have, there's lots of problems in this industry with COVID right now. Number 10 is quick. It's COVID motors. I don't care what brand, any brand that was made during COVID, I'm scared of, and I really don't like the idea. But if you're buying new, you got to buy it and just hopefully that everything works out, you know? I mean, we've seen some, I'm not gonna bring them up, we've seen some problems here and there with brands that are having some issues already, but we're just not gonna talk about that right now. But I'm just saying COVID motors. Number 9, oh God. Number 9, the Evinrude G2. G2. And I know there's a bunch of you go right now, I got one of them, they're awesome, man. Good, go buy another one. They're really cheap on the internet right now. You can get them all over because no one wants one. The only reason they made the issue because they are the demise. They're the bye-bye. They're the see ya, I don't want to be you no more. The pretend that we're not going to be an outboard company. We're just going to quit and bye-bye. Done. Oli f***ing lost everything because of the G2. That's why the G2 is here. Number 9, G2. Number 8, are you ready for this one? Mercury carbureted 4-strokes. I mean, I could ball up probably just every 4-stroke made that was carbureted because they ran great when they were new. Then people set them up for a winter and they went to come out and they ran like shit because they were garbage. They didn't like to run. You had to adjust everything. You had to step it. You had to use the vacuum machine. Had to clean the carburetors. You had charged everybody $700, $800 to clean carburetors probably, depending on who you were. 400, 300, I don't know. Some of them needed carburetors. It was a mess. It was a complete disaster. I'm just gonna say every damn carbureted 4-stroke that was built because they were a pain in the ass. Don't tell me you didn't see one, because if you were in this industry, you saw a Honda that had problems, you saw Mercury's, you saw some Yamahas that had problems, the carbureted ones, and it was mostly because of the fuel. Fuel. They weren't built for the fuel, they just didn't run good. They were not high on my list. Number 7, here you go. The late 90s Suzuki 150. Yep, I put a Suzuki on the worst ones because you don't need 12 spark plugs to run 6 cylinders. You just don't do it. I'm sorry, don't like it. The thing was they ran pretty decent, but I don't want to take a cowling off and have 2 eyes looking at me at every damn cylinder. Look like a bunch of bugs looking at me. I don't need that crap. No, it just didn't work. I didn't like it. I don't think they pop much. I didn't have many pop problems like blowing up. I'd be interested in that. So if you had one of these and you popped it, let me know. I'd like to hear about some of that stuff too. Any of them 90s fucking 12 spark plug 6-hole. No, I'm just done. Done with that one. Number 6, the Mercury Tower of Power. No, I'm not even gonna get into it. Nope. There's a reason it's called the Tower of Power. Not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Nada. 0. Gone. Unbolt it, let it fall in the bottom of the lake. There won't even be a fish that sits around it. Nope, not a good motor. Number 5, we're getting closer to number 1, but we made the top 5. Are you ready? Your OMC C drive. Huh? Go look it up. Don't believe it? Worked on one in my life. POS. You know what that stands for, everybody? Put it right down here, Jordan. Pile of shit. See that? Pile of shit. Not good machine. OMC C drive POS. It's all in there. If you look up serial numbers, they all end in POS. Garbage. Number 6. There's no reason for Sears ever to make a fucking outboard. Sears made a game fisher. You were not fishing anything with the game fisher. You weren't going after game with the game fisher. You were lucky to leave the fucking ramp with the game fisher. The game fisher needed to go away. It should have started and ended that day. Gone. We don't need a Sears game fisher. Number 3, the Evinrude Ficht 200. We used to call it the Orville Redden Popper of all outboards. We had a ton of them that came in blown up. Didn't like them, hated working on them. They always stunk, they smelt bad, they consumed a shit ton of oil. It was the beginning of the end of OMC, and then the rebound came with the E-Tech, and they made it a couple years, and then we thought we'd discontinue the plan with number 9. So it made the list because of the demise of OMC. Okay, so that's the demise of OMC. Or Evinrude, we repowered, we got going again, then we fell down again. So they both made it. That's the reason why they made it, because they took Ole and shoved it where the sun didn't shine, okay? That's what happened. All right, number 2. Every Chrysler outboard ever made. Every one, every single one. Every Chrysler, like I said before, in the boat one, Chrysler couldn't build outboards. Why the hell are they building boats? They couldn't build boats. Why the hell are you trying to build outboards? Don't build anything. Stick to cars. I said it before. Stick to cars. Don't do that. That's garbage. We don't even, no. Do I even need to get into it? I mean, we do need to get into it. The white, the plastic, the shaky cowlings, the fucking things that never idled. And if you got one that ran good, you made it about 150 yards and it quit running and you're pissed off, you got a divorce, maybe threw your kid out and the kid had the rope in his mouth trying to swim you back to the landing. Is that good? Garbage. No, don't do it. Number 1. On the piece of shit outboards, top 10. Luke. Luke made it. You all know what it is. Spit it out. Start saying it. Luke, I am your father. The Force. The Force outboard. Which was made by Chrysler for a while. The Force outboard is the biggest pile of shit I've ever worked on. Where do I start? Carburetors that leak, carburetors that look like junk, outboards that don't look good, wires that are smaller than your pubic hairs. Is that gonna make it? That will make it, good. There's no reason for that. They're garbage. There's nothing good about the Force outboard, okay? There was one that ran good, I think, that like ran really good. Jason's not over here right now, but he worked on, Jason! Where's Jason? Can you hear me? I'm trying to get Jason in here because he is a Force expert. He was certified in Force mechanics. He's got some stories about Forces, and maybe if he comes over here, we'll get him, because this will be really good. This will be really good. Neil has brought back a lot of Forces in his day. Neil was a prime specimen. Neil was probably Force certified here at Team Marine for a while. He's gonna walk behind us right now. He's not gonna, no. But we're gonna bring Jason in for this one. I'm gonna bring you in on this one here. We're talking about Luke. Luke.
The Force.
The Force? And I kind of wanted to bring you in. Come on in, join the party, say hi to America. Because we know that you were once a Force certified technician.
No.
Yes, you were. You worked on a lot of them.
Nope.
You did work a seat. You got it. You might have to get. No, yeah. Oh, there you go. Perfect. There. See, you're right here. See, picking your nose. See, this is a Force technician here. You see this? Volvo. No, he did. You said you had a story for it though. When you worked at another service shop back in the 80s, right?
No, 90s.
90s. There was a what?
There was a dumpster specifically made to put Force motors in. Because they would blow up like weekly.
Why?
I don't know.
So do you just take them off and throw them in?
Powerhead garbage.
Powerhead
garbage.
New one
on?
on?
Shipments of powerheads.
Because they were under warranty.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them under warranty.
People would have to replace them because they couldn't afford to buy another motor, so they have to buy a powerhead.
So they'd buy a powerhead for their junk.
We used to have shelves of powerheads.
Shelves of powerheads.
3 cylinders and 4 cylinders, explosion. Parts everywhere.
Parts everywhere. Right in the bin. Lots of Miller Lite cans and old
style. Yeah, they
style.
were good motors for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. First 20 minutes when they quit smoking, they were all done.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's why I brought him in.
Save on oil.
I'll save on everything except for your checkbook.
Yeah.
That's why I brought him here. Because, sorry. Yeah, no, you're good. He was the Force technician.
No.
We don't work on them no more?
I don't work on the Forces.
We don't work on them no more.
I wouldn't work on them anyway.
Why?
Because I don't want to, unless you absolutely make me do it.
I did work on one this year, but that was a trim. Nothing to do with anything else, just the trim. And those were shit too. Everything about that motor is garbage. There's no reason to own one, and that's why they're number one. Luke is number one because they're shit. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate that.
You bet.
See, that's what his expertise. That's why we needed his expertise on the Force outboard. Dumpsters, big blue bins, right in. Piles of junk. Yeah, you heard it right from the guy that had shelves of them. There was shelves of power heads. How do you like me now? Right. All right, so there's your top 10. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. You ready? Here we go. Number 10, every motor that was made in COVID. You wanna know why? Because we don't know what's gonna happen. And like I said, it might not be the outboard problem. It could be the outskirt problem. The G2, because it wrecked Evinrude. It shoved something up Ollie's no sunshine hole. The Mercury carbureted 4-strokes, or all carbureted 4-strokes in general, they just sucked. They were the garbage. And 25 through 60s, let's do 25 through 60s. The smaller ones weren't bad because they still do make some of them carbureted small. We're doing like 25 horse through 60 horse. Late 90s 2-stroke, Suzuki 12 spark plug, 6-holer, not a good deal. Mercury tower power, leave it in the bottom of the lake. OMC C drive, junk, horrible. The Sears Game Fisher, I got into it. Sears, don't make that shit. Don't do it. Just stick to whatever you're doing on washers and dryers or tires or whatever the hell. Don't make Game Fishers.
They're bankrupt now.
Why are they bankrupt?
It's been bankrupt.
Game Fisher?
Sears.
Game Fisher. The Game Fisher made them bankrupt.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of it? Yeah. They were still trying to make the Game Fisher. They're no longer with us. COVID did that to them. Evinrude Ficht. It took down Evinrude. The Ficht took down Evinrude, and then we tried to rebuild with the E-Tech. We did okay, and then we G2'd and went away again. So there you go. That's those two. The number 2 would be everything Chrysler ever put their fucking fingertips on when it came to watercraft. Junk. And number 1 is Luke, brought to you by Star Wars Force. I have the Force. Is all garbage. Because you know why? They just didn't even look like outboards. They're just, I hate them. 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 And you had Jason standing right here who was telling you about power heads on shelves to replace. Garbage. You shouldn't need it. Like you said, 20-minute motor. Gone. There's your top 10. COVID, Evinrude G2, Mercury 4-strokes and or 4-strokes in general, 25 through 60. Late 90s Mercury 2-stroke, the 12 fucking spark plug, 6-lunger. Tower of Power, big son of a bitch. OMC C drive, the Sears Game Fish. I hate that motor. I don't even like it. Evinrude Ficht, because of the demise. Everything Chrysler ever put their hand on that was on water. And number 1, Force Outboards is your top 10 piece of junk in this industry. And I hope you like this. Make sure you comment on all of these and make sure you get involved. And if you had one you really liked it, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I appreciate that because, well, this is through my experiences, not yours, but tell me I'm stupid. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with it. Doesn't matter to me, but I love it when you guys are commenting about some of this stuff and say, yeah, I had one, it was junk, and I'm never gonna have another one. That's cool too, we appreciate it. Because then you get other people commenting on your stuff, and then you guys can go back and forth, and maybe you guys can throw up, do a little bit of boxing, whatever, but yeah. Anyways, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to witness the madness that I hope every Force outboard owner is now saying. I wish I never owned it, but speed, money, and no brakes. I'm out. See ya.